What's up, gamers? Welcome to Gamer Rant. My name's Kevin, and well, we're going to be doing another rant discussion. Yes, I did upload a video, Rant News, but that's not it's not a very viewed segment. I'm thinking about just getting rid of it. I probably will. It's probably going to stop it. Because it's my least viewed video, and granted, some of my subscribers probably aren't aware that I'm fully here, but even when my 600 subscribers were aware that I was here, it was the segment that got the least amount of views. So anywho, let's actually give you a real video for today, and that is EA says it's learned from Star Wars Battlefront controversy and vows to be better. Now this is an article from April 13th, 2018. If you're curious as to why Kevin, Gamer Rant, is actually talking about it, that's because I was not doing videos at the time. And nobody can really say that I'm doing it for clicks or money, because I do it for neither of those things. I have an opinion on the subject, and well, in all irony, it also kind of definitely ties into a lot of stuff that we actually have talked about Electronic Arts already, and even another video that I have planned that also has to do with Electronic Arts. Downloadable content.
Microtransactions.
DRM. Pre-order DLC.
Dislocked content.
Blind. Stupid fucking fanboyism.
According to Patrick Sutherland, a longtime EA executive who just yesterday was made the company's chief design officer, that would be 12 April 2018, the last 6 months post-release have been an important learning experience for the company, and it's been an experience that will help shape on how EA operates moving forward. Okay? I'm going to skip an amount of what he says because it really has no context within of itself. We can shy away from it and pretend like it didn't happen, or we can act responsible and realize that we made some mistakes and try to rectify those mistakes and learn from them. Alright? We had the intent that was designed for us to move more people, play it over a longer period of time, explained Sutherland, and the decision to include loot boxes. And like a lot of other games on the market, to be able to afford to do that, we had an idea of getting returns from that. But at the same time, we got it wrong. As a result, we had to take very quick and drastic actions to turn everything off, and we've since worked and redesigned the progression system. We'll continue to improve the game, we'll continue to push on these things, and we'll continue to be very cautious with what this means for future products. We have taken significant steps as a company to review and understand the mechanics around monetization, loot boxes, and other things in our games before they go to the market. Yeah. So then yesterday, again, that would be the 12th, Wilson shuffled the company's executive team. He said would sharpen focus on the creative core of EA. It's clear to us that this is, who's this? This is Sutherland talking. It's clear to us that players see the company differently than we do. No shit. And in that situation, as a member of the executive team and as the guy who runs all the studios, I have to take that seriously. And we have to continue to listen and understand what's triggering that. We have to be very cautious of what we do. We have to take action and show people that we're serious about building the best possible products, that we're serious about treating the players fair, and we're here to make the best possible entertainment that we can. Now, the one thing that you'll take note that Sutherland, if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, Patrick, that's his first name, is constantly iterating in this article is that they've made mistakes. Moving forward, we're going to learn from those mistakes. We're going to try to do better. We're going to try to treat the gamers more fairly. And yet, this article was April 13th, 2018. From that day, the 13th, all the way currently to the 22nd of July. How many times has Electronic Arts been in gaming news for more gaming controversy? Quite a few. The biggest one being Command and Conquer. Which, clearly, that game right there shows that Electronic Arts hasn't learned anything. Because I did a video on this already, alright? And if you want to watch the video, if you just want to go check out the article, I'll link the article directly in here if you just want to go do that. But if you want to look at the video, it's there as well. And basically, we're talking about Command and Conquer. And basically, Mr. Patrick Sutherland here is explaining why they decided to put Command and Conquer on the mobile system. And what yet he failed to realize is that he literally admitted it was all about money. He literally goes and he talks and he says things like how big the mobile market is. It's the biggest in the world. Alright? And we felt that Command and Conquer was good for this. Why? Number one is the mobile gaming area the largest and the most successful because of microtransactions, because of free games with ads in them, those two things. So this proves right here that when they decided to put Command and Conquer on the mobile game, it had nothing to do with bringing the game to a larger group. And everything to do with money. Because they wanted to put a game, they wanted to create a game with microtransactions. If they were to have put that on the console, they literally would have had to have limited what they could do. Which in their eyes, and in their investors' eyes, was less money for them. You know, Patrick Sutherland wants to sit here and wants to say that they've learned their lesson. I got a news flash for you, Patrick. You guys haven't learned dick. Let's travel back in time to when Electronic Arts won the Consumerist Poo-Poo Award 2 years in a row. How did Electronic Arts respond to that? Number one, they blamed gamers. Number two, they pointed the finger at other businesses. At no time did Electronic Arts formally or informally apologize and try to investigate and try to figure out what was wrong and try to correct themselves. It was a lot easier for them to point the finger and to blame their fucking consumers. The very people that made them the big company that they are today. And yet, here once again, Electronic Arts, all out motherfucking lying. That you've learned from your mistakes, that you're going to do better as you move forward, and yet just in this short amount of time span, from the 13th all the way to currently now, the 22nd of July, you've been caught in controversy. You've been caught lying. So tell me exactly what the fuck did you learn from Battlefront? You learned not a damn thing. Because at the end of the day, you don't care. You don't care about the quality of your products, and you don't care about your consumers. You know, I think what a lot of people are failing to see here, especially Electronic Arts, is if we get rid of what Electronic Arts is, they are a video game business. Let's get rid of what they are. What else are they? They're a corporation. Alright? What kind of stigma is associated with a corporation? It's not a very positive thing. So right there, even outside of the context of video games, consumers already have a suspicion. Some even have a hatred for corporations. Because when it comes to corporations, it's more about the money rather than the quality of the product or the consumers that buy those products and or services. And now we add in video games, which are also considered an art form, but yet art is not meant to be sold in pieces. So how can you call video games an art form if you're selling it in pieces? Because at the end of the day, once again, Electronic Arts is a corporation. They only care about money and their investors. I'm going to do a video on it, but I came across this YouTube video. I can't remember her name. And she basically did a video. I'll Google it and try and put it in the description box as well. And it was basically how E3 for Electronic Arts is for the investors and not gamers. And you sit there and you listen to what she says, and it's irritating within of itself. It's bullshit. Not what she says is bullshit. It's bullshit because, well, what she's saying is basically the truth. It's just bullshit that it happens to be that way. So, in long story short, that basically the stocks rose right after E3. They did this the corresponding years as well, which goes to show you that Electronic Arts E3 press conference is never for the gamers, it's for the investors. Once again, this is more proof Electronic Arts showing that they don't care about the quality of their products, and they don't care about what their consumers think about their products or them or their services, because they're too busy worrying about what their investors think. You know, it's kind of ironic that, you know, Electronic Arts, back in the day with Online Pass and the beginnings of DLC and microtransactions, they were one of the first companies that defended it, saying that it was how they generated revenue. And yet, tell me, how many times has Electronic Arts been sold over the years? Like it went out of business and it had to be sold because they were going out of business. I haven't read any articles. I never heard of such a big topic within the gaming industry, and that would be a pretty big fucking topic. So once again, it comes to this iteration that, well, you're just spitting out more bullshit. And at the end of the day, Electronic Arts, regardless of what you think you're learning, you ain't fooling gamers. You haven't learned shit. Because even, like I said, just in that short amount of time frame from this article, the 13th of April, 2018 to 22 July, 2018. You've already been in controversial topics. You've already literally showed that you're not listening to the consumers and that you don't care about them. It's one thing to be a greedy son of a bitch. It's another thing to try and be a greedy son of a bitch and lie to our face. Because if you continue down this path, well, eventually, I don't think any amount of DLC or microtransactions is going to save the company when it has to be sold. Granted, it'll probably just be sold to another greedy son of a bitch, but, you know, semantics, technicalities, and all that shit. Anyway, gamers, hope you enjoyed this video in some fashion or form. And remember, gamers, if you're not voicing your thoughts and concerns about, well, the bullshit of Electronic Arts and how they claim they're learning from their mistakes, when throughout the history of controversy that they have been associated with, they've proven otherwise, you just might be a part of the motherfucking problem.